Most common injury we generally see here at sort of IGF would probably be a fractured sort of collarbone or clavicle. Generally what happens is, if they're from a fall on the race course, is that they will be picked up on the day, they're sent to an A&E and they'll have an x-ray and they'll pick up on the fracture. They then tend to head towards some sort of specialist or shoulder surgeon who gives us an opinion on whether it's going to be conservatively managed or whether we're going to need an operation. And then they tend to come into us. Can be anything from sort of 48 to kind of up to 10 days sort of later from injury. Guess stages of kind of how we manage them. Generally the first stage is that kind of pain control, trying to manage that sort of pain, trying to get some of that muscle activity back to get those muscles that have had a bit of inhibition from the pain that they've had working again, and generally keep some movement going and trying to get some movement going. We don't really tend to load kind of above that sort of 90-degree mark until there's enough of a healing stage going, and that generally happens, everybody's different, but that generally happens roughly around that sort of 3-week mark, maybe 4-week mark if they've had some sort of surgery or it's a particularly sort of nasty sort of fracture. Second stage is when that's kind of happened and we're at that healing mark. Then we start to go some overhead activity, and again, a bit more loading into sort of rotator cuff and strength muscles, and also the sort of supporting structure. So the way the shoulder moves with the shoulder blades and the neck itself, and making sure that everything moves nice and smoothly. And then I guess the last sort of stages are where we're doing our kind of power activities and our more racing related activities, ready for them to do their sort of return to ride. Again, everybody's different. General sort of clavicle fractures, very earliest stages might be a 4-week recovery, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on kind of how bad they are. But yeah, they're general stages of clavicle recovery.